Part 79. The Lucky Bag is Reborn with Space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 781. Chapter 781 Rules. Zhang Xiaoxiao wiped his sweat and sat on a big rock. I haven't worked like this for a long time, so I suddenly did it. I feel really tired. Ren is wearing a cloak and cutting rice. Think about that scene, don't you get sweaty? Not hot. Liar. Hungry as well as thirsty. I left in a hurry in the morning and didn't have time to have breakfast. Their preparations. Sorry, no one brings equipment. Use local ingredients and eat whatever is available. Zhang Xiaoxiao saw a place in the woods at a glance, and his eyes lit up. What kind of magical place is this? All kinds of trees grow in this forest together. People generally divide their crops into different regions and species, and those that are resistant to cold and heat cannot grow in the same area. No wonder this forest is called the Starry Sky Forest. Various trees grow together. Look at the coconut trees growing next to the pine trees. This combination is really surprising. Of course, this does not surprise her. The main reason is to see the huge coconuts one after another on the coconut trees. Immediately make the throat feel dry. Seeing Zhang Xiaoxiao walking toward the tree over there, Das Han became anxious and hurriedly called the monkey. Monkey, monkey, come here quickly, I can't stand it alone. The monkey dropped the sickle and saw a strange scene. Zhang Xiaoxiao quickly climbed up the tree. Right? There were actually two strange-shaped things on his feet. Zhang Xiaoxiao simply made them out of nearby branches using the special tools used by those who climbed coconut trees in his memory when he was on vacation in Hainan. I didn't expect that the wood here is very strong and special. Even though it was made into such a weird shape, it is actually stable at all and is very stable when stepped on. The monkey is going crazy with anxiety. My mother, why did Zhang Xiaoxiao get up the tree? What's on the tree? Even though there are such big fruits on the tree, everyone knows that this kind of fruit is inedible. It is very raw and no one likes it. It has a hard shell inside. Xiaoxiao, you're about to get off. I know you must be hungry. I brought some food. It was specially prepared for you by the captain. Come down. I'll give it to you. You can't eat the fruit on that tree. Hey, slow down, you hit my head. Ouch, stop, stop, stop. Zhang Xiaoxiao ignored him and chopped down all the dozen or so coconuts on his tree in one go. As long as you climb a tree, your own dagger will really cut through iron like clay. With a slight pick, the coconut fell instantly. After cutting down the coconut, Zhang Xiaoxiao slipped down along the coconut tree and took off the things on his feet. Hold up a coconut and sit aside, holding a dagger and punching a hole in the middle of the coconut shell. This dagger is really easy to use as a tool. It's no joke that it can cut iron into clay. Looking at other tools, I'm afraid it can't do it. Pour the coconut milk inside into your mouth. It is clear and sweet, and your whole body becomes refreshed instantly. The monkey was a little confused. She actually smashed a hole in the hard shell. And how can water be poured out of this shell? It seems to smell quite fragrant. Tell everyone to come and rest together for a while. I see that it is already the afternoon and the sun is about to set. No matter what, we have been working all day today, so we have to set up camp at night and find a place to rest. Let's take this opportunity to have a drink. Coconut juice. The coconut shell can be used to make rice, and the cooked coconut rice is very fragrant. Zhang Xiaoxiao greeted the monkey. In fact, the monkey's throat was also burning. He had been working under the scorching sun for a whole day, and he was exposed to the wind and sun in the car in the middle of the morning. In fact, it was not very comfortable. No one brought food. This was a long-standing practice. Freshly made. But after working all day today, even if we went hunting, it was time to call it a day and call it a day. If you don't quickly find a place to rest for the night, you may not know what kind of wild beast you will encounter tonight. Although Zhangzioxiobi is not reliable, this one is quite reliable. At first glance, this is really Zhangzioxio's style. Each of the 8 people drank to their heart's content the coconut juice from one leaf. These coconuts are so big, each one is almost the size of a wash basin. Xiao Xiao, this coconut juice is so delicious it seems that I should go up to the tree tomorrow and pick a few more. We can drink it as water or as a drink. The monkey felt full after drinking, and patted his belly. Drinking this coconut juice really makes you feel refreshed. In addition, Xiao Xiao also told them that after the coconut was peeled open, there was still white pulp inside, and the pulp was mixed with the rice and stuffed out. It is simply delicious. Rice. Where did the rice come from? They have been harvesting rice for a long time just now, and eating some rice is not what they should be doing. Tonight they lit a fire on the ground beside the rice field and camped here. Captain Lu and the others caught 3 wild boars from the woods. These 3 wild boars are the most famous rice-scented pigs here, and they especially like to eat the rice they bring to the fields. Of course, it actually does no harm to humans, but it is huge. If a person is hit, it will not be able to bear it, and the ribs will definitely be broken. The 2 teams each occupied an area. Although the areas were adjacent, they were separated by a field. They all made fires with each other, but there was little communication. This is a tacit understanding between the 2 teams, and it is also a rule. They will not consume each other's supplies, and of course they must ensure self-sufficiency. Captain Lu looked at the 3 pigs. Xiao Wu, Xiao Lu, you carry a pig and send it to them. No matter how you come out with them. Don't make it look too ugly. Anyway, this kind of rice-flavored pig, if you go into the woods, you can come back in both directions. Wu Xiangmei next to her was a little unhappy. Why should the captain give them food? They have already received 10% of our remuneration, and they also have our protection. If we hadn't driven out, they would have come to this place and killed them themselves if they had the ability. Such pigs are not, it's not hard to catch them. It's really cheap to give them free food. You just have long hair and short knowledge. What do you know? Since this pig is free, what does it mean to give it to others? Do you know what our goal is? If you don't let them eat it smoothly, you may not be able to eat it in the future. Accept what is ours. How will you take those 2 women away by then? Are you really planning to kill them all? Let me warn you. I made it very clear when I accepted the mission. There must be no casualties among these people. This is our 900 level rule. Even if we have grudges against each other, we can openly go to the duel field, but we will never do it behind our backs. Come to Yin. There are not many people on the 900th floor. Everyone here will have no descendants, and if one dies, there will be one less. We can't fight among ourselves. The superiors can just take these 2 women away as they please. We don't care, but if you want to hurt our people, that's absolutely not okay. Wu Meixiang shut up, knowing that her words made Captain Lu disgusted. Snorting quietly when others can't see it is all pretense, and it's dead as long as it's dead. Do the people on the 900th floor think that the people on the 200th floor will regard the people here as human beings? End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 782. Chapter 782 Camping. Xiao and Xiaoliu sent the rice-scented pig to someone else and came back after a while. When he came back, he immediately brought back a scent, and everyone gathered around him when he smelled it. 5th brother, what kind of good thing did 6th brother bring back? Why does it smell so good? Captain, the 2 women over there are so good that they actually made the rice-flavored pig directly into barbecue. The taste of the barbecue is really great. Come and have a taste. They specially asked us to bring half of it back. And it is said that they also made some coconut rice. I have never eaten anything like this before. They say courtesy reciprocates, so let's try their craftsmanship. I couldn't help it, so I took it back. Wu Meixiang's eyes widened in surprise. Those poor people actually knew how to reciprocate, and what kind of coconut rice did they make? Of course we know about rice. They had been harvesting rice for a long time just now. I'm afraid those people used local materials to get some rice to stew rice directly. But I have never heard of coconut rice, and what kind of barbecue does this rice-flavored pig make? It seems like no one has ever eaten barbecue. Anyone who hunts in the wild knows that every time he goes out on a mission, the prey he catches is barbecue. Are there any other differences? Captain Lu didn't say anything and went directly to the fire. He couldn't help laughing when he smelled the smell. This fragrance tastes really good, and it attracted my greedy appetite. Come on, take out the bottle of wine you brought. This smell should be just right with this wine. I really didn't expect it. This is really good craftsmanship. Everyone took a bite of the barbecue they brought back. In an instant, the whole roasted pig in front of them immediately lost its aroma. What did their pig smell like? It was smelly, fishy, and the meat was hard. Look at how fragrant and spicy this is, and I don't know what seasonings are put on it. The texture is unforgettable. The meat is cut into pieces and is completely different from their roasted whole pig. The piece of barbecued meat tastes charred on the outside and tender on the inside, and it's oily when you bite into it. Especially paired with this coconut rice. I don't know what is mixed in this rice. It has a faint fragrance and a little chewy texture. It goes perfectly with barbecue. In just an instant, all half of the barbecue was eaten, and not a single grain of coconut rice was left. Captain Lu looked at the bottle and saw that there was still more than half a bottle of wine, but the barbecue was gone. Took a bite of the home-roasted roast pig. Oh my God, the taste is really hard to describe. It's really unpalatable. Captain Lu stood up without feeling satisfied, took the bottle of wine and ran directly to the next door. As soon as the others saw the captain leaving, they had to follow him. Without saying a word, Xiao and Xiaoliu picked up their own unroasted pig and followed him. The return gift was half a barbecue. It would not be enough for 8 people to eat half a barbecue. If they didn't bring their own things. Is it possible that you are still ready to eat for free? It is unreasonable to give someone a pig and end up eating it all in your own belly. Xiao and Xiaoliu also winked and asked Xiaoqi and Xiaoba to go directly to the woods and come back with 2 pigs. They are the only animals that can eat as much as pigs. If we don't bring back 2 more pigs, then none of them will be enough to eat. You must have enough sincerity. Zhang Xiaoxiao and the others now roasted half of the pig, and each of them ate a large bowl of rice. Everyone's stomach was bloated. After the monkey finished eating, he patted his belly with satisfaction and sighed, "This is how people live." It turns out that what I ate before was all pig food. Only after following Dr. Jiang did I realize that Dr. Jiang's craftsmanship is so good that it makes people cry. Zhang Xiaoxiao ignored his weird look. Just now they used huge coconut shells to collect water and put it directly on the fire. Put a few pine needles in, and the water exudes the faint scent of pine trees. When you drink it, it feels warm, comfortable, and refreshing. Everyone was telling jokes around the fire, and Captain Lu and his whole team came over there. The monkeys and the others couldn't help but be frightened. What's going on? A monster attacks? Everyone who hangs out on the 900th floor knows that if something is wrong, he might die here. Therefore, everyone is full of energy and will jump up and fight desperately if anything happens. Several people immediately stood up from the ground and looked around cautiously. When Captain Lu saw this person's gesture, he knew that he was being frightened, so he burst into laughter. It's okay, it's okay. I just ate the barbecue you sent over. It tasted so delicious, but the result was bad. These beasts all snatched it away one by one. I didn't even get 2 pieces of meat to eat. Look at me. It's just wine but no meat. Let them bring the pig over, and your 2 chefs will roast it for us. Xiao and Xiaoliu were a little embarrassed and carried the pig to Zhang Xiaoxiao and Yali, and asked the 2 beauties to roast it for them. Yali and Zhang Xiaoxiao didn't talk nonsense. Helping each other out is not the right thing to do, but Xiao and Xiaoliu are not idle either. They directly helped Yuli and Zhang Xiaoxiao cut the pork into pieces. Following Zhang Xiaoxiao's instructions, they chopped some wooden skewers and put them on the rack one by one for roasting. And this can produce a lot of barbecue at once. Watching Zhang Xiaoxiao flipping the pieces of meat back and forth over the fire and sprinkling various seasonings on them, the strange aroma spread immediately, leaving squeaks in the corners of each mouth. Zhang Xiaoxiao, what do you use for the seasoning? Why is it so fragrant? I've never seen it on the market. I've seen it before, but I've never seen this kind of red or brown. I'm really ignorant. This is just chili powder and cumin on our 200th floor. These things are available in as many quantities as they are eaten by the untouchables generally. Nobles do not eat these spicy things. Wu Maizian curled her lips and called out the names of these 2 seasonings in a smart way. But please pay attention to the way you speak. What is an untouchable? If the ordinary people on the 200th floor are called untouchables, then what should they call the people on the 900th floor? This sincerity is insulting. Sure enough, Xiao and Xiaoliu didn't even glance at Wu Maiziang, but turned to look at Zhang Xiaoxiao eagerly. Although this girl is wearing a mask, you can't tell that she is beautiful or ugly, and she is wearing a cloak. She gives others the impression of being very aloof and aristocratic. But this girl has a very kind attitude towards people, and her tone of voice is also very kind. Not at all like Wu Maiziang, rather a bit like a dog looking down on others. She is right. These 2 spices are called chili powder and cumin. If you eat too much, you will get angry easily. But I can introduce you to a way to avoid getting angry. After eating the barbecue, you look at that tree. It's called a coconut tree. The huge fruit on it, pick that fruit. I tell you, there is a very delicious drink in it, which is refreshing and very refreshing when put under the fire. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 783. Chapter 783. Thank you, Drive Zhang. Xiao and Xiaoliu couldn't bear it after hearing this. According to what Zhang Xiaoxiao told them, they immediately found a few trees and climbed up. Although they were exhausted, they climbed to the top of the trees and picked off the coconuts. Zhang Xiaoxiao then told them how to open the coconut and actually pour out the cool liquid from it. It is really sweet and warm when you drink it. The heat after eating those barbecues is gradually diluted. It really clears away heat and reduces internal heat, as the girl said, and it is refreshing and delicious. Captain Lu, Monkey, and other team members exchanged glasses for each other. After eating so much barbecue, a bottle of wine was consumed by everyone, sharing one glass. I drank some more coconut juice. After finishing it, I didn't even feel the heat in my body at all. Can't help but look at Zhang Xiaoxiao in front of me with admiration. I didn't expect Miss Zhang to be so good at surviving in the wild. Even we can't recognize these trees. We residents who have lived on the 900th floor for more than 10 years don't understand it as well as you do. And the barbecue you made is indeed, it's delicious. No wonder he was born into a noble family. We know the chili powder and cumin very well. Even if we, the people on the 900th floor, do it, we still don't know where to find the chili powder and cumin. The monkey was slightly drunk. That's it? Who is this? What can we, Dr. Zhang, not do? You have to know what kind of big family the Zhang family used to be. Her brother used to be a very famous shura. After finishing speaking, I instantly realized something was wrong. Captain Lu's eyes were fiery. Dr. Zhang. I didn't expect that Miss Zhang could actually know medical skills. Miss Zhang is really secretive, monkey, your captain is really hiding it. Miss Zhang has been living on the 900th floor for almost half a year, and we don't even know it. Knowing that Miss Zhang is actually a doctor, no wonder your captain survived despite being so seriously injured when he came back. Captain Lu and I have been friends for so many years, but he didn't even tell me the truth. Monkey suddenly woke up from the drunkenness and slapped himself hard. This confirmed that what he just said was true. Yali and the other 4 team members immediately picked up the weapons around them vigilantly and moved closer to Zhang Xiaoxiao. Zhang Xiaoxiao also tightened his grip on the dagger. After all, Captain Lu was an outsider, although his identity as a doctor was not a big deal. But now, it seems that these people have designs on themselves. Don't be nervous, we are all a family. Now that I know the identity of Dr. Zhang, we don't even have a doctor on the 900th floor, and other treatment centers are not willing to come to our 900th floor. We share a treatment center on 3 floors, but this treatment center is located on the 700th floor. Isn't it because everyone looks down on us on the 900th floor? If we don't unite ourselves, then it will be okay. Too many people have died on our 900th floor. Now that we have doctors, we shouldn't let our people die anymore. No matter what, I won't reveal the secret. After Captain Lu finished speaking, a sword pierced Wu Meixiang's throat. Zhang Xiaoxiao and the others looked at Captain Lu in surprise. I didn't expect this person to be cruel and ruthless. He was directly killing people. Captain, this is the person introduced by Mr. Wang. We cannot afford to offend Mr. Wang. If you can't afford to offend, you have to offend. This Zhang Xiaoxiao in front of you is the only one who knows medical skills. Think about it, can Mr. Wang be better than a doctor? If we have doctors on the 900th floor, we still need to go up to them. 2 levels of people bow their heads. Everyone bowed their heads. The captain is right, the people on the 900th floor are not looked down upon because they suffered too many casualties. And there are no doctors at their level, nor can they afford to see a doctor. So they have only seen a decrease in people on the 900th floor, but not an increase in people. Of course, even if there are those who committed crimes and were sent down to be punished, they generally will not be exiled to the 900th floor. Those who are struggling here are actually no different from those in hell. Captain Lu took back the sword and walked in front of Zhang Xiaoxiao. Monkey and the others had already stood up, and the 6 of them were blocking Zhang Xiaoxiao. Dr. Zhang, as long as you can help us people on the 900th floor to cure their illnesses, even if you let us die for you, no one will care about a life. To tell you the truth, the woman who died just now was named Wu Meixiang, and she was from the 200th floor. A representative sent by the Wang family. Her mission is to take you and Yali back, but not to the 200th floor, but to a certain executive. It is said that she had a grudge against your Zhang family in the past. Your brother killed his younger brother, and now he wants to find you and Yali. Li takes revenge. The reward is 30 devil eyes. I originally wanted to move a group of people. Don't blame me for being cruel. Your grudges have nothing to do with us. Everyone in this quagmire wants to jump out and is eager to betray themselves. But I just learned that you are Dr. Zhang. To put it bluntly, if it were for myself, I could stand by and watch. There is no need to kill Wu Meixiang, but I, Luda, also want to be proud in my life. With you here, the brothers on the 900th floor can live a few more lives. Every year, more than 1,000 people die on the 900th floor. These people die not at the hands of monsters, but in their own homes and in the arms of their relatives. Inside. I just don't have money to see a doctor and no one cares for me. My daughter died like that, and now I don't want to continue to watch my family members die like that. I just want to be happy. Captain Lu's words moved everyone, they were the same as Captain Lu. Having seen the painful death of a loved one, there is nothing that can be done. Let alone the 900th floor, even the people on the 800th floor are not there yet. Without money, you are still waiting to die. They have doctors now. That is the hope of life. Wu Meixiang is dead. I can release the news to the public. Yu and Yuli had an accident in the starry sky forest. After being attacked by monsters, Wu Meixiang died. Yu and Yuli were captured and their whereabouts are unknown. We can give you a false identity to ensure that you can continue to live. Dr. Zhang, please stay on the 900th floor. The jaunty man knelt down in front of Zhang Xiaoxiao. Captain Lu's team of 17 people followed Captain Lu and knelt down together. Dr. Zhang, please stay, we can guarantee that no one can harm you. Monkey burst into tears and suddenly walked over to Captain Lu and knelt down as well. Zhang Xiaoxiao? We were not good to you in the past. If you have any grievances in your heart, come at me. If you want to kill me, I won't say a word. But please stay. It's not easy for us people on the 900th floor to survive. Yuri and 4 other team members also knelt down. The atmosphere here was extremely solemn for a while. Zhang Xiaoxiao sighed, it's not just medical skills that have been lost here, there are many other things that have been lost. Get up. I can't promise you that I will stay here forever. But I promise that before I leave, I can select a few apprentices to help you train at least one doctor. But I need you to help me find a place with a strong fire attribute. This is the only thing she can do, and it is also her only request, not to delay her own affairs, but also to help others. She will definitely leave, Song Moding is still waiting for her. The important thing is that she is not worried about being anonymous, but looking at Yuli's face, she still tolerates it, and she will remain anonymous. The rest of the people were already surprised. Helping them train doctors is a greater kindness than staying here. Thank you, Dr. Zhang. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 784. Chapter 784 Mom, I'm hungry. Finished processing Wu Meixiang's body. Captain Lu ordered his team members to lure a group of monsters over after they finished harvesting. Make it seamless. The sky is slightly bright. They have got up to work. No one slept well here. Who can sleep after a night of excitement? Monkey, Xiao, Xiaoliu, and others don't need any instructions. They have already led people to pick coconuts from the coconut trees. How can they have the strength to work if they don't have a full breakfast? Dong dong dong. The shaking sound, like an earthquake, became louder and louder. Coming like a tidal wave. It has become a habit for Yali to protect Zhang Xiaoxiao immediately. No, someone came over and obviously brought a swarm of monsters. Captain Lu's expression also changed. This is a plane. If you want to avoid monster attacks, especially monster-tide attacks, without a hard granite cave as a shelter, they will have to die without a burial place. A large group of monsters followed the 2 young men. The giant scorpion-shaped beast, the golden crab with its fangs and claws, the flying python, plus the wild long-haired bison and the 4-eyed elephant made Zhang Xiaoxiao's eyes widen as he had never seen before. Too much. These monsters are almost the same as the monsters in the star battleships that I have seen before. Looking taller and more ferocious. He was rushing towards them. This time even Zhang Xiaoxiao felt like he was dying. They couldn't stop it. Such a scorpion beast was almost completely different from the last one they encountered. At least 10 times bigger. How to fight this? It means that you are ready to die. Seeing the trees in the distance being hit, the trees were almost defenseless and fell down brittlely. Let's go quickly, get in the car. Captain Lu grabbed Zhang Xiaoxiao. Yali instinctively grabbed Zhang Xiaoxiao's other wrist. With the strength of 2 people, Zhang Xiaoxiao was almost thrown into the car. The driver stepped on the accelerator. Be prepared to run with all your might. I stepped on it, but there was no movement. Step on it again. Still no movement. Treading hard. Dr. Zhang, turn off the flame. The desperate look in his eyes made Zhang Xiaoxiao even more desperate. It is definitely impossible to die. You can return to that world. But these people? You can't take it with you. Whether it can be taken away or not is a question. People die as soon as they arrive? Zhang Xiaoxiao looked at the driver in confusion. You are really good at choosing the right time to turn off the engine. You are not sent as an undercover agent by Wu Meixiang, are you? Looking at the tide of monsters rushing over. 2 people in front of me were torn to pieces. Captain Lu and the others had despair in their eyes, gritted their teeth and shouted, even if we die, we must fulfill our promise, protect Dr. Zhang, and never give up until the last moment. Everyone, protect the car. Everyone stood guard around the car, grabbing their weapons and waiting for the final blow. It is also the last moment of their lives. Seeing helplessly the tide of beasts rushed in front of them, and then those majestic and domineering beasts suddenly seemed to have stepped on the brakes collectively. They turned around 3 meters in front of Zhang Xiaoxiao's car. It was really hard for their huge bodies to hit the brakes. Several of them almost collided with each other. They were so scared. The monster's expression changed drastically. Nearly fled. A quarter of an hour. The dust was flying. Captain Lu coughed for a long time and was choked by the dust. The herd of beasts was so powerful that they did not disperse even after leaving the dust for a long time. Monkey, Xiao, and Xiaolai were holding the tree trunk and shivering. Just now they thought their lives were hanging by a thread. Herding over like this, no matter where you are, you will not be able to survive. Just leave now. Zhang Xiaoxiao breathed a sigh of relief and almost left by himself. Just when she was about to spin the ring and leave, Xiaju vomited. Sister, you are such a stupid sister. You have a black horned dragon summoning dragon card in your pocket. As long as you crush it, the black horned dragon will appear. They are all afraid of the black horned dragon. Zhang Xiaoxiao crushed it, of course. The moment they were crushed, these beasts turned a corner. As if facing the most ferocious enemy, they all changed their paths and walked very fast, not even stopping for a moment. Yali leaned on the car and wiped her sweat. Xiao, they're gone. Fortunately, I don't know if these beasts are crazy or what, but I'm so lucky to be gone. It seems like we're very lucky this time. Then he turned around and saw the petrified Captain Lu and the others. Captain Lu is like a statue. A black horned dragon landed in front of them. Walking over with head held high. Resistance. Non-existent. They are not opponents of black horned dragon at all, they are unequal enemies. That coercion alone is enough to make them unable to stand. That momentum made their legs and feet weak. Zhang Xiaoxiao finally smiled when he saw the black horned dragon. Xiaju is pretty reliable. Hopping out of the car, Black Horned Dragon immediately screamed when he saw Zhang Xiaoxiao. Immediately everyone fell to the ground with their heads in their hands. Chest pain and tightness, my brain feels like it's going to explode. Zhang Xiaoxiao held his head, and so did she. The Black Horned Dragon was attacking indiscriminately. Dying. At this moment a figure appeared. The Black Horned Dragon seemed to be bound by something invisible and couldn't break free, and its voice gradually became fainter. Zhang Xiaoxiao raised his head and saw Song Zian. Yan Yan. Self-mumbling. 8-year-old Song Zian retracted her palm, and the Black Horned Dragon followed obediently behind her. Song Zian jumped up to Zhang Xiaoxiao. Mom, I finally found you. Hold my mother's thigh. Zhang Xiaoxiao touched his daughter's hair, which was dark and thick. How? This world can only be opened with a meteorite ring? How did Song Zian come in? Could it be that something was wrong? Song Zian smiled and said, "Mom, I'll talk to you later, I'm hungry." Touching his flat belly pitifully. Who would have known that Zhang Xiaoxiao would have been hungry several times when he was not at home? Even though Zhang Xiaoxiao is busy with his career, he still makes breakfast for them every day. Song Zian relied on Zhang Xiaoxiao to nourish her mental strength with one meal a day. Finally managed to break free of the seal this time, but the power of liberation is very limited. Song Zian can't live without Zhang Xiaoxiao. Zhang Xiaoxiao's food contains her sister's power. Only by Zhang Xiaoxiao's side can she break away from all the seals. Now that her mother suddenly disappeared, Song Zian could not be anxious. Just use her mental power to search and find Zhang Xiaoxiao. Then it would be no problem for some of the power from the lifting of the seal to send her in. Zhang Xiaoxiao smiled and rubbed her daughter's head. "Okay, mommy will cook for you." Song Zian immediately nodded happily and ran to the black-horned dragon. "You have to be obedient and go grab some food, my mother wants to cook." The black-horned dragon nodded obediently as a little black dog raised at home, wagging its tail and roaring loudly. Zhang Xiaoxiao and the others instantly covered their ears and fell down. "Can't stand this stimulation, I feel like I'm going to explode." Song Zian's expression changed as soon as she saw her mother. With his black eyes widened, he saw that the black-horned dragon seemed to have its neck pinched by invisible hands in the air, and was thrown to the ground hard, again and again. Black-horned dragon was obviously stunned. Zhang Xiaoxiao knew at a glance that his daughter was probably also a person with stories. This is too powerful. If the black-horned dragon continues like this, its life will probably be over. Hurriedly grabbed Song Zian's hand. "Yan, okay, it didn't do it on purpose. It probably didn't know it would hurt us. If it weren't for it, mother would have died." Song Zian stopped. "Okay. Seeing as you didn't mean it, I apologize to you. I'm sorry, don't yell in the future, my mother can't stand your voice." The soft voice made the little black dragon nod in fear. After a while, Black-horned Dragon drove out 10 rice-scented pigs. Just squatted next to Song Zian obediently and remained motionless. Song Zian looked at her mother longingly. "Mom, I'm hungry." End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 785. Chapter 785 Pets. Captain Lu and the others stood on one side clearly separated, watching this strange scene from a distance. A very cute little girl appeared. The problem is that this little girl seems scarier than the black ceratops. At least Black-horned Dragon is afraid of this little girl. This little girl also called Zhang Xiaoxiao her mother. Dr. Zhang is a mother? Yuri was almost frightened. When did Zhang Xiaoxiao become a mother? But think about it, I have only met Zhang Xiaoxiao in the past 2 years. In the past, Zhang Xiaoxiao was well protected by the Zhang family. No one has seen it. When it comes to getting married and having children, it may be common sense that I don't know. The child is so old, he must have been born a long time ago. The problem is that this child seems to have a powerful force when reaching out, and even the Black-horned Dragon is afraid. How could they not be afraid? Zhang Xiaoxiao carefully prepared the food so that his daughter could eat it. Especially love eating meat. The kind that enjoys all things meat. Especially like to eat food cooked by oneself. I haven't returned to the Song family in the past few days. The child probably can't wait. Song Zian gnawed on the pork knuckle, her mouth full of oil. Mom, it's so delicious. Mom, you need me to protect you. You see, it's thanks to me that I'm here, otherwise, you would have been bullied. You are too weak. Mom, I will protect you. Zhang Xiaoxiao, who was still domineering while eating, assured him. Zhang Xiaoxiao was happy. How many people now protect themselves with just one mouth? She has become a heartthrob. Yan, how did you get in? This is strange for Zhang Xiaoxiao. Mom, I came in when I wanted to, it's not a problem for me. This answer is not misleading. Black Horned Dragon saw that Songjian was eating deliciously, and he nuzzled next to her aggrievedly. Like a puppy, crawling over on the spot. It's just that it's too big and can't be reached by the little dog. Rubbed Songjian's trouser legs with her black horn. Zhang Xiaoxiao laughed. The Black Horned Dragon is very greedy, I saw it last time. No matter what, it was the Black Horned Dragon who saved him. Yan Yan, give him some food, you can't finish it even if it's so much. Songjian looked at the 9 rice-scented pigs next to her and nodded generously, okay then. Songjian is very considerate many times, and this considerate person refers to Zhang Xiaoxiao. I don't think others can. Black Horned Dragon feasting. He was smiling happily as he ate, and wanted to scream from time to time, but he looked at Zhang Xiaoxiao and the others. Feeling depressed. These human beings are just too fragile. Hey, their little masters are too powerful, how can they be broken? 1 person and 1 dragon are full. There was nothing left of the 10 rice-flavored pigs, only a pile of bones. When you're full, go to the car to rest. Mom and uncles and aunts have harvested the rice, and we'll go back. Zhang Xiaoxiao looked at his daughter's messy hair. Songjian had been adopted by them since she was a child and seemed to have always been very close to him. Haven't left her since I was a child. This time should be the longest. Songjian nodded obediently, okay. Mom, I'm very obedient. Jumping straight to the car. Black Horned Dragon also wants to jump around, but it's a pity that it has such a body. Following Songjian, the driver was shivering in the car. Here he comes, here he comes. Coming towards myself. What if my little heart is going to explode? When Songjian saw that the Black Horned Dragon actually wanted to get in the car, she waved her hand dissatisfied, don't come up. You can see your body shape for yourself. The car will be ruined if you get in. Where can I sleep? Just go back. Thank you. You protect my mother, but my mother has also made so many delicious things for you, and you eat more than me. You will not come here anymore. I will protect my mother from now on. You go back to your mother. Songjian deeply felt that this guy was threatening to her, because her mother roasted so many rice-flavored pigs, but all of them were eaten by this guy. It seemed that this guy's belly was much more powerful than hers. If this continues, my mother will be exhausted. The food cooked by my mother is so delicious, how can I let this guy rob me of my treatment? As soon as Black Horned Dragon heard this, he immediately rubbed his big head pitifully against Songjian's trousers, acting like a coquettish person. The driver was so frightened that he almost held his breath. You must know that all the monsters on each level have an overlord leader, and their leader on the 900th level is the Black Horned Dragon. It is equivalent to the Black Horned Dragon appearing invincible. Everyone on the 900th floor knew that as long as they hid in the shelter, they would be safe. But after leaving the elevator, their survival really depends on themselves and luck. Everyone has heard of Black Horned Dragon and knows that Black Horned Dragon is not friendly to humans, nor does it feed on humans. The Black Horned Dragon is the natural enemy of all monsters because the Black Horned Dragon is so edible. Whether it is a vegetarian monster or a carnivorous beast, it is the food of the Black Horned Dragon. This is why all monsters can run as fast as they can when they see the Black Horned Dragon. But now this Black Horned Dragon is lying down obediently in front of a little girl and acting coquettishly. The problem is that you look ferocious. Even if you are acting coquettishly, people will only see terror. I don't feel the cuteness of coquettishness. Songjian patted the Black Horned Dragon and said, you want to be my pet, but that won't work. You're too big, and you're too edible. I can't afford to raise you. Songjian jumped onto the car seat, frightening the driver so much that he almost jumped out. Go back quickly. If I miss you, I will go and play with you. Your parents must miss you. I will find my mother now and I will play with you again when I have time. No one expected that with these two casual words, Black Horned Dragon actually nodded, rubbed Songzian's fingers, and then spread its wings and flew away. Songzian closed her eyes and fell asleep. Although part of her power was unlocked, she did spend a lot of effort to deal with the Black Horned Dragon just now, and her mental power now needs to be exercised. She was tired and she needed a break. The driver watched Songzian fall asleep. This little girl is as delicate as a flower bone, her skin looks white and very delicate, her eyebrows are curved, and her facial features are very beautiful. Such a little girl can actually deal with a Black Horned Dragon. It's really unimaginable. She was almost the same age as her daughter. Looking at Songzian sleeping, the driver was worried that she would catch a cold, so he hurriedly took a blanket from the back seat and gently covered Songzian. The moment the blanket came into contact with Songzian, the little girl opened her eyes and stared at the driver with her dark eyes for a long time. The driver was startled by the cold light in his eyes, as if he had done something bad, and he stammered an explanation. "I'm afraid you'll catch a cold." Songzian smiled. "Thank you. Then close your eyes and go back to sleep." Zhang Xiaoxiao and the others continued to work. Yuli finally couldn't hold it back. "Xiaoxiao, is that your daughter?" "I really don't know much about this sister-in-law." Zhang Xiaoxiao nodded. "It's my daughter." She didn't know how to explain it either. This Zhang Xiaoxiao seems to be only 26 years old. It's messy enough now. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Lucky Bag is Reborn with Space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 786. Chapter 786 Silly Son. No one said anything, just working. Hand in on the work. Everyone is slowly digesting the scene they just saw. They just found out that Zhang Xiaoxiao is actually a doctor. The moment they decided to leave Zhang Xiaoxiao here to protect her, everyone knew they were in big trouble. But no matter how much trouble you get into for this one doctor, you should do it. Whoever has no wife, children, who is sick at home, or who cannot afford to be ill and is waiting to die, needs a doctor to treat him. Even if he loses his own life, he must protect Zhang Xiaoxiao. But at this critical moment, instead of protecting others, Zhang Xiaoxiao's daughter appeared to protect them all. Zhang Xiaoxiao's daughter is only 8 years old. Same as a little angel. Then the Black Horned Dragon was almost crushed to death by her. Even the Black Horned Dragon is as well behaved as a domestic pet. I really want to have a daughter like this. Only one person stood there dumbfounded, not daring to move. The driver was in a hurry in the car. With such a big guy, the heart is not enough, and now I have seen something that is incredible, and it feels like the rhythm of my head to move. Should we consider how to die appropriately? Zhang Xiaoxiao works very seriously, she is the main force. Followed by 6 people. Where are the guards? Do you still need guards now? I didn't see any Black Horned Dragons coming here for a walk, no monster without eyes coming here. This is the most comfortable day, and there is no need to worry about safety issues at all. Night falls. Calling it up. Zhang Xiaoxiao finished early and rolled up her sleeves to prepare delicious food for her daughter. Get ready to go back and send the person away quickly. This little guy is not causing trouble. She is coming. How to make chaos happen at home. Happily there is some room in time. It won't be a problem for a while. Just don't scare the old lady and old man. So, this night was destined to be unpeaceful. Zhang Xiaoxiao has just made boiled fish and spicy hot pot, using his own space materials. Of course, the meat is still rice-flavored pig. Doxiang pig can be seen at any time. It's still a big pot of rice. Then the spicy and salty flavor hits your face. Song Zian came here looking for joy. Mom, Mom, I smell the spicy hot pot. Mom, I'm hungry. Zhang Xiaoxiao looked at his daughter's shining eyes, the eyes of a foodie. Gently handed her a large bowl. Eat. Captain Lu and the others also smelled it, but Zhang Xiaoxiao didn't say anything and they didn't dare to come over. The 8-year-old boss is enough to control the situation here. People just throw black horns around and play with them, so what do they think? Zhang Xiaoxiao couldn't move at a glance. Come and eat. This is my daughter, she has a good temper, don't be afraid, you are also her uncles and aunts, come on. Hello warmly, my daughter is really well behaved. Song Zian beamed with praise. Come on, I'm very good, uncle and aunt, let's eat. The crisp and sweet sound is really different from the image of throwing the dragon just now. Captain Lu said, this is really good. The problem is that even if they are good, they don't dare to be presumptuous. Before they even picked up their chopsticks. Then a strong wind blew against my face. 3 dragons descended from the sky. A group of people hugged each other and shivered. Why are you here again? The black-horned dragon family is here. 2 even larger black-horned dragons flew towards Song Zian. The wings spread out to a full 500 meters, and the black shadow was like a dark cloud, covering the sky, with sharp claws and ferocious fangs. Damn human, how dare you bully my son? Die. Zhang Xiaoxiao was frightened, but he didn't forget to take his daughter into his arms. If something went wrong, he had to evacuate quickly. Captain Lu, take the people and hide quickly. Zhang Xiaoxiao doesn't want Captain Lu and others to die in vain because of him. Captain Lu and the others knew for the first time that what they said yesterday was too big. How to protect others? Protect your ass. Have you ever seen someone so protective? It won't work if we don't withdraw. Dr. Zhang, I'm sorry we can't defeat Black Ceratops. The truth. The black-horned dragon is not something they can defeat, and giving it away for free is not enough. I understand, and I'm prepared to withdraw if something goes wrong. Zhang Xiaoxiao said that he understood, and he really understood. Clear the area instantly. Song Zian smiled and pursed her lips when she saw her mother protecting her. Mother loves herself most. Hands out 2 little hands. Obviously, he didn't touch anything, but when he saw the 2 dragons in the air, they were torn out of the air instantly. Then there was a beating with all kinds of flying sand and rocks. The 2 giant dragons roared crazily. At first, Zhang Xiaoxiao was worried that they wouldn't be able to bear the roar. Later I discovered that Song Zian seemed to be the nemesis of black-horned dragon. The 2 little hands twist and twist, and the 2 dragons are twisted together like twists. Then there are all kinds of fancy slings. Human, let go. Human, you dare to hit me. Ah. Flutter. Zhang Xiaoxiao couldn't stand it. These 2 dragons were so miserable. It's terrible. Song Zian smiled happily. Why is it now popular to beat the young ones, and the old ones come to settle accounts? The problem is that you bring 2 capable people, just such a thing. Little black dragon, your parents are too disappointing, how can this be possible? Okay. Look at how disappointing it is. Believe it or not, I will twist it into a rag for them. Why don't you find another parent? No response for a long time. Song Zian was surprised. She looked back and saw, hey guys, the little black dragon is sitting there eating happily. With his head lowered and his stuck out, he buried his head in the large basin of the spicy hot pot. He probably looked back quietly when he heard Song Zian stop scolding her. As expected, Song Zian's 2 eyes were swung coldly. The little black dragon immediately raised a pair of paws in a flattering manner and wiped his mouth like he was hiding his ears. Song Zian came forward carrying 2 black-horned dragons that had more air coming out and less air coming in. Mom, it stole my spicy hot pot and finished it all. I want to beat it to death. glaring. The little black dragon instantly hid behind Zhang Xiaoxiao. It could see that this was the girl's nemesis. Two dying black horned dragons had only one thought. Wait for me to slow down, I will kill this son who cheated my ancestors. Is this a lie to your parents? Zhang Xiaoxiao quickly put his arms around his daughter's shoulders. The child was too angry now. Beating and killing at every turn. How on earth did this girl become like this? Yan Yan, be good, don't be angry, mom can still make it, it's just spicy hot pot, mom is making it. The little black dragon can eat whatever it wants. Didn't you say that you can count it as a friend? Song Zian looked at the shameless dragon speechlessly. Mom. It and I are not friends. Mom, I think dragon meat is good for spicy hot pot. I haven't eaten it yet. The meat of the black horned dragon can relax the muscles and activate blood circulation, remove moisture from the body, and increase energy. Otherwise, let's start eating dragon meat today. Seriously raised the two dragons in his hands. He Jialong and his wife both wanted to die. Where is my dignity? The dignity of the dragon clan is completely gone. The problem is that you can't beat them. It's not very harmful, but it's very insulting. I'll talk about dragon meat next time. There are so many rice-flavored pigs now. Mom wants to eat rice-flavored pigs, and the little girl. Don't lose your temper every time. Let them go. Whatever you want to eat, Mom will make it for you. You can have it once opportunity to order food. Song Zian dropped the two black dragons in an instant, cheered and hugged Zhang Xiaoxiao tightly. Mom, I want to eat grilled fish, spicy crayfish, spicy chicken, mapo tofu, mok siuwang, and braised beef. One way. Two black horned dragons were beaten to pieces. Just ignore them. Looking at the silly dragon following the little girl, the two dragons doubted life. Father dragon, look what you gave birth to. The mother of dragons rolled her eyes. It seems that she is not your species. Two people came to the idea that a genetic mutation gave birth to a stupid son. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 787. Chapter 787. Who are you? This night, except for Zhang Xiaoxiao and Song Zian, everyone else slept tremblingly. Whoever can sleep with three black horned dragons will win. Three black horned dragons were sleeping next to Song Zian's car. The miserable long couple finally regained their balance after eating Zhang Xiaoxiao's meal. These things are so delicious. Even though there was a little bully, I ate something I had never eaten before. Can comfort their wounded hearts. On the third day, early in the morning, I had breakfast. Egg-filled pancakes and white rice porridge. Everyone was satisfied. Including three dragons, of course. This morning, three black-horned dragons officially signed a contract with Song Zian. After Song Zian extremely disliked the black-horned dragon, they returned to the base. Black-horned dragons can't enter, but it doesn't prevent them from saying goodbye to their master. By the way, Zhang Xiaoxiao harvested a lot of rice-flavored pork jerky. It can barely comfort their hearts. Zhang Xiaoxiao and his two teams went home. The elevator door opens. All the teams waiting here saw a horrifying scene. An 8-year-old girl walks struttingly in front, holding Zhang Xiaoxiao by her side, keeping at least 50 centimeters away from her. Captain Lu and others followed respectfully. Who knows what happened? Captain Lu had a look of admiration on his face. Anyone whose storage ring was filled with prey would know what it was like to have three black-horned dragons as thugs. With a long roar, groups of prey from all directions automatically came here to report. There was no resistance or struggle, and they were obedient as if they were domestic animals. This time there was a great harvest, and there were no casualties at all. Zhang Xiaoxiao carried Song Zian into the house, closed the door and locked it. I'll take you back now. Zhang Xiaoxiao's expression was serious, and Song Zian immediately turned into a crybaby. Holding Zhang Xiaoxiu's arm, Mom, no, Mom, I will be very obedient, Mom, I can protect you, Mom, you can't let me go. Mom. Tears fell like strings of pearls. Zhang Xiaoxiao hardened his heart and was a little on purpose. When he faced the black horned dragon yesterday, he was so majestic and wanted to be the boss. Now when facing him, he immediately started to act cute. You are only 8 years old, it's time to go to school, don't mess around, you must go back and get education, this is not a place for children to play, Mom also has something to do here, not playing games. Hold his hand and get ready to turn the ring. Mom, if you send me back, I will tell your secret to my grandparents, and also to my brothers and sisters. I'm afraid my brothers and sisters will come with you by then. I know you are here to find someone who can wake Dad up, way to come. Isn't it the broken ring? Its ability is not as strong as mine, and I can't even save my father. If you believe this ring, you are too stupid. Song Zian slowly said something. Zhang Xiaoxiao paused and smiled. This girl actually dared to threaten his mother now. Since this ring doesn't have the ability to wake up your father, and you don't have the ability to wake up your father, that's why Mom has to find the other meteorite. It is said that this ring and that meteorite merge together to have the ability to wake up your father. Wake up. What do you think Mother should do? Also, do you think I will be scared if you tell your brothers and sisters? Then you will see if your brothers and sisters listen to me or you. If I don't let them go, who dares to go? Break their dog legs. A sinister threat. Song Zian thought of her mother's bamboo whip. Although she has the mental power to resist, she doesn't know why every time she faces her mother, all her mental power cannot deal with her. Song Zian can use her mental power against anyone, but she can't do anything about her mother. She has already tried it thousands of times, even yesterday in the starry sky forest, she tried to see if she could use her mental power to attack her mother. Returned in vain. And it was obvious that she suffered a backlash, which made her know that what her mother had was something she could not resist. Don't even think about using her powers on your mother. Mom, actually I can tell you that I am the only one who can enter the world you have entered, your brothers and sisters, including grandparents. Even if you want to bring them in, there is no way to bring them into this time and space. This is a different time and space, not a parallel time and space. Song Zian's words attracted Zhang Xiaoxiao. Zhang Xiaoxiao also wants to figure out where he is now and how to get started, but that is really a big problem now. Song Zian, can you tell me who you are? Why do you have such ability? Mom believes that you have always been my daughter, and you are a kind-hearted person. Otherwise, if you have lived with us for so many years, you have never treated your family use any of your abilities. But at least you let me know. What is going on? Song Zian hesitated, but her mother finally asked, and she knew she couldn't hide the matter. Everyone in their family has some strange phenomena. Just like a brother is like a sister, just like herself, probably except for brother Beizai, all of them have extraordinary abilities. It is because she knows this that she quietly gives the system she got from Fang Ziyi got brother Beizai. Because brother Beizai is the most pitiful, unlike them, she hopes that brother Beizai and sister Yi can have superpowers like all the brothers in the family. In this way they are a happy family. Of course Song Zian didn't think about Song Moding at all. Probably because Song Moding was the only one in the family who didn't have superpowers at the beginning. Dad doesn't have superpowers, and Mom still loves him, so Dad still doesn't have superpowers. She has read so many novels and watched so many TV series. As long as the fathers in them have money, status, and unusual abilities, they will abandon their wives and children or find mistresses, or there are all kinds of unreasonable ideas. In this case, Dad should just be an ordinary person. Being an ordinary person will make him his perfect father. She doesn't want her mother to be sad. She knows that her mother loves this man very much, and her father is also a perfect man. Even though my father doesn't have superpowers, he is still trying his best to protect his family and his mother. Just like this time, in order to protect his two brothers, my father almost gave up himself. This kind of emotion between people is something she has never seen in the stars. Of course, this feeling makes her feel very warm and cozy. She loves this big family very much. That's why she will obediently be the baby in this family, because in this family she can feel everyone's love for Songjian. Even though she is not a biological child of this family, her mother, father, and older brothers and sisters are still very good to her. This is enough. It's enough for her to be attached to this kind of warmth, enough for her to be willing to use her abilities to protect everyone. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 788. Chapter 788 Promise. Songjian obediently told her mother her details. In fact, there was no need to hide it. Everyone has their own trump card, but seeing that her mother looks exactly like her sister, she sees her mother falling in love with her wholeheartedly. She is willing to hand over all her fortune to Zhang Xiaoxiao. Zhang Xiaoxiao pinched his temples, it hurt. The daughter she loves most is actually an interstellar warrior. She travels between various interstellar places, and they have never seen or been to a creature like the Earth. And it's obvious that this daughter's ability exceeds that of everyone else. No wonder Fang Xiaohuai's system doesn't have it. It turns out that the moment this daughter was born, people automatically felt Fang Xiaohuai's disgust for her. At the same time, she also used her ability to absorb Fang Xiaohuai's system. Only now did Zhang Xiaoxiao understand that Fang Xiaohuai had an unlucky system. "Mom, do you know who I am, so you don't like me?" Songjian is a little worried that her mother is the person who loves her most in the world, if this feeling is suddenly withdrawn. She thought he would collapse and wish he could destroy the entire galaxy. Zhang Xiaoxiao said softly, "You are really a stupid child. Even if you are not your mother's biological child, even if you have such a big secret, but who doesn't have secrets? Mom also has secrets. Is it because Mom has secrets? Mom, isn't she your grandma's daughter? Think about it, Mom is not grandma's biological daughter. Mom has the same huge secret as you, but grandma still loves her so much, the same mother, no matter what you become or who you are. Mother's feelings and love for you will never change. It's just that I suddenly couldn't accept it. I have such a powerful daughter. The Star Warrior you mentioned, I can imagine, should be someone like that kind of majestic general, but now he has become my daughter. She is still an 8-year-old daughter. Now I suddenly understand why the black horned dragon trembled when it saw you. Because you two are not on the same level at all. At the beginning, I was still afraid of setting foot in this unknown and strange world. Because this world is so strange and full of dangers. But one day it was suddenly revealed that his daughter was a big boss. This is Chi Kuakyo's big golden legs placed in front of her, allowing you to hug her however you want, whether you want to make a leg pendant or just sit on her lap, you can choose. This feeling is like going to a very cheap buffet, and the result is Australian lobster, abalone, and other top-notch products. This feeling is simply refreshing. Songjian happily hugged Zhang Xiaoxiao. "Mom, I knew you were the best mother in the world." "Stop it, don't flatter me. It's useless to flatter me. You are still too young. Even if you are an interstellar warrior, you are still talking about my daughter. If you are my daughter, you have to go back to school and receive primary school education. This is your obligation. You have to do it too." Songjian was so angry that she stared at him. She was turning her back on him. "Mom, I can help you a lot by staying here, and I can protect you. Even if there is any danger, I can help you, and I will never let you get hurt. It's better than you wandering around here alone. You see, seeing as you have been here for a long time, you can't even save enough energy stones, so just 10 energy stones. Look at me. As soon as I took action, the black horned dragon immediately stuffed 2,000 energy stones into your space. What is this concept? You can definitely use it however you want. And with the two of us working together, we can kill everyone. Song Zian was reluctant to go back to school. That kind of childish subject was simply destructive to herself. Yan Yan, I understand what you think, but just because you stay here doesn't mean you can find meteorite fragments. Although you are an interstellar warrior, can you tell me where the fragments are? Zhang Xiaoxiao couldn't sleep last night, so he went to the woods to communicate with Xiaju for a long time. Although Xiaju couldn't see through Song Zian's identity, Xiaju also said that although his energy was small, it was because he was just a meteorite. A small part. Why is it called Xiaju? Just because it's only 1/10. The other 9/10 were all blown to pieces by the explosion. If they really merged, even a star warrior like Song Zian would not be a match against them. The ability of the entire meteorite after fusion can be said to have infinite cosmic energy. Even Xiaju couldn't find those meteorite fragments. He could only feel for them while walking. If he could find them, it would be considered lucky. If he couldn't find them, it could only be said that Zhang Xiaoxiao was doing endless tasks here. Song Zian shook her head. She really couldn't find it. She had already used her mental power to search outside, but she really couldn't find the kind of aura similar to Xiaoju in this world. You see, just because you stay here doesn't mean that we can complete this task quickly. Otherwise, you should go back to accompany your grandparents and help your mother protect your grandparents, brothers, and sisters. Protect your grandma and grandpa, because your mother is not at home. If no one can protect them and someone bullies them, mother will be worried. After all, those were the people who wanted to kidnap your brother and threaten us. Not yet. I'll find out if they have this idea for the family again. Zhang Xiaoxiao thought of a perfect excuse. Song Zian smiled brightly. Mom, I have dealt with those people a long time ago. Don't make excuses. I stay here. The one who really needs to be protected is you. You don't understand how big the world Xiaju brought you to is danger. The current world you see is just an entrance, as the world unfolds bit by bit. You will go to different time and space to see different humanities and customs, and some are so dangerous that you can't even imagine them, such as the black-horned dragon. This is just the top monster on the 900th floor of this world. Do you know that by the 100th floor, there are no monsters in this world that humans can compete with? Even if human beings have truly practiced here and gone through various temperings, and their physical qualities, including their speed and ability, have reached a certain level, they still cannot defeat a 100-level monster. This is also the reason why this world is destroyed. If my guess is correct, if those fragments are scattered in a certain place, it is likely to be the most dangerous place. Mom, if you want to go to that place based on your ability, I think you may not be able to go there in 900 years. Zhang Xiaoxiao smiled. It was quite interesting to feel that he was despised by his own daughter. Mom, I know you don't want me to stay here, I can guarantee that. I will return to the real world to help you protect your family, but I will appear when you are in any danger, because I will leave a trace of my spiritual power. Here, whenever there is any danger around you, I will be there instantly. If you don't even agree to this condition, then there's nothing you can do about it. Then we can't talk anymore. Since we can't talk, I have no choice but to stay here. Anyway, I'll probably get whipped by you if I stay here. Zhang Xiaoxiao looked at this little guy lying on the bed and acting like a fool. Okay, I promise you. Song Zian stood up instantly. Really? Since when did her mother become so easy to talk to? Really? But you have to promise me not to mess around. You can't show up if I'm not in danger. Zhang Xiaoxiao didn't want Song Zian to run here if she had nothing to do, and someone would always find out. Song Zian cheered. Oh, Mom is the greatest. By the way, give mom a stamp on her face. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Lucky Bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 789. Chapter 789 Malnutrition. Songzian is gone. Zhang Xiaoxiu's forehead was left with the spiritual consciousness left by Songzian. Zhang Xiaoxiao went to see team leader Lu Jian that night. Lu Jian's attitude was very strange. He was very cautious and even looked behind Zhang Xiaoxiao. Zhang Xiaoxiao smiled, I guess this is a good thing done by a monkey. I'm afraid this guy explained Songzian's deeds to his captain. With such a big shot, everyone would tremble. How is captain, have you recovered from your injuries? Lu Jian grinned. Although he didn't see the boss, he still felt his demeanor. It's very good. You removed the stitches for me before you left. Didn't you see that after you came back in 3 days, my wounds have recovered so much that they are almost invisible? I didn't expect the recovery speed to be so fast. Your physical fitness is still very good. Zhang Xiaoxiao checked Lu Jian's wounds. This guy really wasn't exaggerating. Compared to the humans in his own world, his physical fitness was amazing. It has only been 7 days, and the wound has almost healed to the point of disappearing. Captain, I just want to ask, is there any place on our 900 floor or here where the monsters are fire attributed, or is there any place with fire attributed monsters? The most likely place for number 10. Lu Jian frowned and thought, there is a red flame battlefield on each floor. The monsters here are said to be fire attribute monsters, but those monsters never leave the volcano. They will not invade anywhere unless we enter their territory. It is said that the monsters in this place are all fire attributed, and fire attributed monsters are difficult to defeat. The attack power is strong, and we are unable to defend ourselves. Basically, everyone can be turned into ashes instantly. So in those places, people rarely go. Also, every red flame battlefield is different, but we are not qualified to go to the red flame battlefield. No one below the 700th floor has ever seen the red flame battlefield. It is said that it is only for S-class warriors. Of honor. The monkey also quickly told what he had seen and heard. Zhang Xiaoxiao heard that there were really too many, one after another. It was enough to give him a headache. When Zhang Xiaoxiao was preparing to start the next mission, he went to the Black Horned Dragon for help. It's not in vain if you don't use it. When I got back to the room, someone came to the door. Captain Lu took out a pile of crystal stones, which were the colorful gems on the monster's body. Dr. Zhang. I know these are not worth the cost of the treatment center. Please check on my mother. She is really dying. Zhang Xiaoxiao did not refuse. Jingxi's subordinate said, let's go. Take me to see it. 2 people went to Captain Lu's house one after another. Captain Lu is indeed extraordinary, and the captain of Fihu fighting naturally lives in a different room, at least a 2-room suite. The sound of the door opening startled a girl, and the 10-year-old girl whispered, Grandma, I woke up and fell asleep, I'm afraid. Don't be afraid, this is a doctor. Zhang Xiaoxiao saw the old lady lying on the bunk bed. She also had gray hair, but the old lady closed her eyes tightly. A simple check revealed that the old man was still awake, and Zhang Xiaoxiao frowned. The old man's condition is very unsatisfactory. He has suffered from various diseases for many years and is malnourished. Right? Severe malnutrition. How about it? Seeing Zhang Xiaoxiao put down his hands with a solemn look on his face, Captain Lu was worried. Dr. Zhang. It's okay. What's the problem? We can bear it. We knew this day would come. Everyone on the 900th floor knows that death here is our fate. My mother. Captain Lu, you are the captain of the Flying Tigers. Judging from your living conditions, you have a good life, but your mother is actually severely malnourished. Captain Lu blinked. Malnourished? What's the meaning? I don't understand what you mean. Malnutrition. Is it because my mother is hungry? After saying this, Captain Lu laughed loudly. This is impossible. How is it possible? Our family's living conditions are good, and everything in the house is meat. It's impossible. Zhang Xiaoxiao turned around to check the little girl. The expression is solemn. That's not right. If Captain Lu is not honest with his mother, he should at least not be hungry for his daughter. Captain Lu, can I give you a checkup? Captain Lu is very cooperative. After checking, Zhang Xiaoxiao only had one word: weird. In a family of 3, it seems that both the strong and the thin have the same basic problem: malnutrition. Captain Lu, all 3 of your family are malnourished. Zhang Xiaoxiao didn't understand why he was malnourished. Although there is a lack of supplies here, basically what I have seen is that there are abundant prey outside, the resources are not seriously lacking, the monsters are ferocious, and humans have strong adaptability. It is impossible not to live. But malnutrition is difficult to explain. Can I see your refrigerator? Captain Lu waited for Zhang Xiaoxiao to open his refrigerator and explained while opening it. Our family has no shortage of food. Look at the elk, one-eyed sheep, four-eyed cow, tiger-headed crocodile, there is everything you need. There is also bread and rice, various canned fruits and vegetables, there is really everything. Malnutrition, how can it be? Captain Lu was a little doubtful whether Zhang Xiaoxiao said that on purpose. Malnutrition does not exist in their family. Zhang Xiaoxiao looked at the can. There is a cupboard full of cans of all kinds, including corn, tomatoes, peaches, oranges, canned meat, and fish, everything you need. Captain Lu, if we don't have a starry sky forest here, why don't we grow vegetables and fruits? For example, the coconut we ate yesterday, the juice is very sweet, and the coconut paste can also increase the flavor of the food. You don't know that after the largest alien battlefield, all the people can only live in shelters. The environment outside is very harsh, and the starry sky forest you see only has one area where it can be planted. Plants cannot be grown in other places. In fact, you should have seen along the way that seeds have long been extinct. 1,000 years ago, the seeds of various plants have disappeared. The seeds of rice are the edible species that we later found during collection. But the number that can be cultivated is limited. Other fruits and vegetables were redeemed from the exchange center. We had never eaten fresh fruits and vegetables. This was not just us, but others as well. Zhang Xiaoxiao finally understood what the problem was. The diet structure is unreasonable, causing malnutrition in these people. Captain Lu, where do the canned vegetables and fruits in the exchange center come from? Since fruits and vegetables no longer exist in the world and cannot be grown, who knows how to make these cans? Captain Lu shook his head. I didn't know either. The exchange center is exclusive to the unified shelter. We don't know this either. Special vehicles will come here every month to replenish supplies. No one has thought about this problem. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 790. Chapter 790 Impact. Zhang Xiaoxiao went to the exchange center. First time here. The exchange center is a very modern center. Service staff carrying signs and wearing matching white suits or white suits stood behind each counter. There is a polite smile on his face. Hello, welcome. Do you need to exchange items or test your physical strength? To exchange items, please go to counter number 5 and test your physical strength. You can follow me. What services do you need? The polite little girl looked at Zhang Xiaoxiao and was not surprised at all because of Zhang Xiaoxiao's dress. How well informed. I want to do both. Zhang Xiaoxiao wants to see what his physical fitness test is. She is using her own body now. After doing some popular science among many people in the past 2 days, she found out that everyone's physical fitness requirements are different here. Of course, acquired tempering must be added. For this kind of tempering, you need to go to the redemption center to redeem the crystal stone in your hand for a kind of body strengthening liquid. Of course, this kind of body strengthening liquid is also divided into elementary, intermediate, and advanced levels. Zhang Xiaoxiao has never seen strengthening liquid. I also want to see how to redeem it. We are not short of money. There are a lot of crystals. The black-horned dragon generously sent leeks to them in waves. The black-horned dragon was full of food and drink, and every one of them had a good harvest. Okay, let's do the test first, and then you can browse the redemption catalog. Please follow me to register. Zhang Xiaoxiao followed the fair-skinned and beautiful service staff to a room, and simply registered, giving name, gender, age, and nothing else. Zhang Xiaoxiao did not remain anonymous. Whether those who want Zhang Xiaoxiao and Yali dead are seeking revenge or anything else, it has nothing to do with me. But don't we have a super strong daughter? It's useless if you don't hug this thigh. She wanted to keep a low profile, but she couldn't. You need to go up to the 100th floor, but you can't go up to the 100th floor if you keep a low profile. Since you can't keep a low profile, you might as well keep a high profile so that others can see your value. Maybe the opportunities will be different. It is said that the Devil's Eye is a product that can only be obtained when the exchange center releases tasks. If you want to get it among monsters, you need a lot of luck. Zhang Xiaoxiao doesn't want to gamble on luck. It is said that if the physical strength reaches S level, 300 evil eyes will be directly rewarded. Devil's Eye has the effect of strengthening the body to a higher level. Apparently they are all trash. I heard that no new life was born on the 900th floor, and no new blood was added. The strongest physical level of all the warriors on the 900th floor was B level. It was rumored that almost all the warriors on the 100th floor were S-level warriors. This is the difference. With a closed door, you can't tell what's inside. This is a test area, you can just walk in, relax, there is no danger, don't be afraid. The faster you walk, the better the test will be. Where you go determines your level. The waiter Xiao Li looked at the ignorant girl in front of him. It was basically impossible for anyone to test her physical strength now. Now there is also a newbie. It's really strange. But it's just one more procedure for them. This is the first time that the 900 layer has not been tested in 10 years. The higher UPS should be happy. Zhang Xiaoxiao opened the door and walked in. Is an open passage. There seems to be no danger except for countless lights. The temperature is very comfortable. It is the most comfortable temperature for the human body. There are no factors that make people feel nervous. The walls of the passage are decorated with the effects of various monsters, which are very realistic. At least the moment Zhang Xiaoxiao stepped in, he felt the pressure coming from the monsters. Sister, you have to hurry up. I found the smell of meteorite fragments at the end of the passage. It's very faint, but it must be there. You have to hurry up. Zhang Xiaoxiao was excited when he heard this. Meteorite fragments are really easy to obtain. Walking quickly. As soon as he walked into the passage, Zhang Xiaoxiao realized that there was a strong pressure in the passage and a strong attraction on the ground. It seemed that his whole person was firmly attracted to the ground. Each step is as heavy as a mountain. Zhang Xiaoxiao was confused. Is this a test? Lift your legs, as if you can lift them up. Zhang Xiaoxiao takes 1 step, 2 steps, and 3 steps. Getting to the 5th step is already a bit far-fetched. Difficult to cross. The problem is that the monster on the wall has always been thought to be a reflection, but now people are directly attacking it. Zhang Xiaoxiao knew it was over at that moment for the real collision. This is a real monster. Her actual combat experience is 0. Zhang Xiaoxiao took a breath. How could he stop moving forward? The dagger was unsheathed, the cold light flashed, and the monster was killed instantly with one stroke. Zhang Xiaoxiao breathed a sigh of relief. It was still an image, but it was too realistic. Once again, a scorpion-shaped beast rushed towards me. Zhang Xiaoxiao thought it was an image, and then it was like being hit head-on by a 100-ton truck. Zhang Xiaoxiao could have flown out directly if his legs weren't firmly attached to the ground. The whole body seemed to be torn apart. Zhang Xiaoxiao didn't know that the ribs on his chest were broken, but he couldn't breathe. Going to die? This is the image? The moment he hit Zhang Xiaoxiao, a cold light flashed between Zhang Xiaoxiao's eyebrows, and the entire passage seemed to be hit by an explosion. The images on all the walls along the way were shattered. Zhang Xiaoxiao finally breathed a sigh of relief. Feel the ribs, they are not broken. Sister, touch me, touch me. Why did Zhang Xiaoxiao's words sound so vulgar? But I still touched the surface of the ring, and the red hibiscus flower suddenly burst out with light. Zhang Xiaoxiao instantly felt a weak flash of power in front of him. The attraction under your feet suddenly diminishes. Zhang Xiaoxiao started to move forward, 1 step, 2 steps and 3 steps. Hey, there is no resistance now, so she seems to be extremely fast. It didn't take a second to reach the wall at the end of the passage. There is a huge screen above, and a round crystal about the size of a thumb is in the groove above. Zhang Xiao put his little finger on it, and the ring was automatically attracted to it. The entire passage was darkened. Right. The entire passage cannot be darker. Sister. Sister. I have absorbed it. Although there are not many sisters, this is also part of number 10. Zhang Xiaoxiao was also proud, finally finding a part of it. No matter how small the mosquito is, it is still meat. Looks really small. You can leave now? A little guilty. Didn't you damage someone else's testing room? Will you have to pay yourself? There is definitely no loss of money. Zhang Xiaoxiao walked out of the testing room quickly. After the test room is originally opened, the network test system is started. This is a fixed system. There is a testing room on each floor. The 900th floor is the lowest level. 2 testers doing a spanking together. It's really boring. Their daily task is to stare at this big screen in a daze. No one has come to test it in 10 years, so they are just dawdling around looking for a job. 2 people were looking at the women in the illustrated magazines and making comments. Which one has a better figure and which one has choppy waves? Then the screen crackled and exploded. Right? The whole screen is broken. The 2 people stood up suddenly. What happened? Where am I? I just read a pictorial. As for this, end of this chapter.